Hello everybody, and welcome to Puffin Drinks. My name is Dennis Cotton. I'm so glad to see you again. And I got my man here, Jimmy Jefferson. Say hello, Jimmy.
Good evening, y'all.
All right. But once again, we got a third leg that's not here tonight. Rodney Q Love, he's somewhere in the Caribbean. He's waxing and maxing, shining and drinking with his significant other. Rodney, we hate you.
All that sunshine, man. I don't even want to hear about it.
Yeah, we really hate you. Okay, we hate you with love.
With love, man. With love.
No, I really hate you. Anyway, all right, so that was kind of funny. All right, so welcome again to Puffin Drinks, where we have spirited conversation, adult conversation, mature conversation, and we got a good one for you. But as always, I kind of wanted to do a quick recap of last week. Last week we talked about abortion, the issue of abortion, and if a man has a say-so as if a woman should have that abortion or not. Okay, we made it clear that we're neither pro-choice nor pro-life, but we do believe a woman has the right to choose. But we also concluded that men, you don't have a say-so in the matter. Legally, you're a fish out of the water. If a woman wants to have that abortion, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, on the other hand, if she wants to have that kid and you don't have anything to do about it. So I thought it was a very insightful topic. I learned a few things that I really didn't know, I didn't think about. So after the show, I went and had a talk with my sons just to let them know what's going on. Tonight, we have a really good topic, at least I think it's a good topic, and I'm gonna let my man Jimmy take it away.
And good evening, y'all. I just wanted to, say that our topic last week was fantastic, and also, this week I wanted to ask Dennis, and then I want to ask everybody out there also. And this is something I've heard time and time again, and I'm trying to understand it myself, but the older I get, the more I find that it's a little bit puzzling. So with that being said and everything else, I keep hearing that men are crazy. And I've heard this 1,001 times. Hello? I'm sorry?
Carla, we are having a real
hard time hearing you at the moment. Can you call us back?
I mean, you come in all muffled. So sorry. Thank you. All right, Jimmy, as you were saying, men are crazy.
Okay, okay. All right. Once again, I've heard 1,001 times, and like I said, I'm getting older, and I keep hearing it even more, that men are crazy. And I'm wondering, when I hear that, if men are crazy, do we really need mental health? Do we need to actually go see a therapist? Should we go see a therapist? Now, the older I've gotten and everything else, I know that there are men out there that are probably, dealing with all sorts of issues and everything else. Hello, how's it going, caller? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, and I apologize. Our volume was really messed up, but the call is kind of hard to hear at the moment.
Okay.
All right, how can we? What do you want to share with us?
Hello. I am a mental health intern. And studying to be a counselor, so I just wanted to weigh in on the conversation.
Okay, great. Well, stand by. Let us jump in.
And then stay on the call, because there are things that I'm going to ask you, or either I would hope that you would actually comment on, as far as men and getting the proper mental health treatment that they need. Now, Dennis, one of the things that I've heard and seen over time is that, men will go to the doctor only when something's broken, or either we got a gunshot.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, when it comes to our mental health, what are we going to do about that? Do we need to go see somebody? Should we see somebody? Should we be talking to somebody? See, these are the things that over time that, we want to see if that's something that men should be doing. And now we're at that point where, especially in my lifetime, that I've seen some men go and some men don't go. So I'm trying to figure out, is that something that we need to do, right now? Or should we go?
Well, you know what? Common sense would say yes. But as we know, common sense is not always common. You know what? My thing is, man, how can I say this? Mental health is something that is left up to the individual. We all have issues, we all have situations, we all have drama. It's a matter of how you handle it. I mean, we all grew up, a lot of us, if you grew up in Detroit, you grew up in some measure of dysfunction or dysfunctionality. You grew up in a troubled household like I did. But you know what? You pushed through. My opinion, and it's just me, either you go to church, okay, well, here at Puffin Drinks, we're going to keep pushing on.
Yeah.
We're having some issues here.
What are calling right now and everything else.
We just
caller, are you still there?
Oh, it's
Okay.
still there. Okay.
All right, thank you, caller.
My thing is this. When it comes to mental health, it's up to you. Either you choose to do the right thing or not. Either you have the common sense that you need help or you don't. Either you have good people around you to let you know when you're struggling. You either have a moral compass or you don't. This thing about, do we have to run to the doctor? Do we have to get, prescriptions by Big Pharma to help you out? I'm like, whatever. I mean...
All right, okay, I get you. I hear you clearly. But if we're looking at our health overall, especially men, and I can't speak for women or anything like that because I haven't been one, but I definitely want to make sure that I'm okay. So, and I've seen a therapist and everything else, and yes, it helped. I had some issues and everything else, and I worked through them. And there's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. And for men, I'm assuming that at some point in time we do make decisions, because we're manly. We can do that. We make decisions.
We're hyper-masculinity.
Yes, there we go. There we go. We make these decisions. But we make these decisions sometimes and we depend upon ourselves, and then next thing you know, we got all these other issues because we made these decisions. So, caller, let me ask this question. Should people go see a therapist?
Yes. So that's the short answer. But the long answer is because black people systemically have faith or we have faith, I think that us specifically need a mental health care that is holistic. And what I mean by that is it incorporates everything. It incorporates trauma. It incorporates the physical feelings of trauma. It incorporates your schooling, the amount of education you have or have not received. And it incorporates the fact that you are black in America, in a world that is systematically against you, which in the past mental health has not been like that. I'm sure as you guys have grown up, you don't really see a lot of black therapists. And that affects black people. There's stigma that there isn't a lot of black therapists.
So answer me this then, because and a lot of there's a cut from Tupac's album where the girl tells him, all he ever does is stand by that window with that AK-47, and she calls him a crazy MF. And once again, is this something or indicative with the issue with black men overall that we just don't get the mental health that we need?
I think that it's indicative of black people. So I would say that men and black boys do have a different outcome for mental health, because there aren't a lot of black male therapists.
Caller, can you turn the volume down on your phone? A little bit more. Not really, but
we have to work with it.
We'll wing with it. Go with it.
We'll work with
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I'm not a speaker or anything. I have to turn it down a little bit.
All right.
But there are different outcomes mentally for black boys and black men. But it's mainly because of the things that I just listed. Mental health has historically not focused on what people, like, really attention to. It's something called hypervision. That means you always have to be aware of everything around you, or else.
That's interesting. So you're saying that black men overall, which, you know, like I said, I was saying PTSD and everything else, and then like I said, I've been black a long time. I've been a man a long time, and one of the things that always comes up is the PTSD. You know, we always talk about it in the barbershop all the time about, you know, that brother got PTSD and everything else. Well, you said hypervigilance. So are you saying that black men overall and young boys, we have to be aware of everything around us, or we're just more aware or acutely aware of the things around us? Caller?
Okay, we might have lost it.
I think we did.
All right, so let me ask this question. Oh, you know what, ladies? We want to hear from you.
Please call us. Yes, we want to hear everybody call in about this, because the time is now.
Yeah.
The time is now. It's 2023. It's time for us to actually take and step up and talk about this conversation. It's no longer the hidden stigma that everyone kind of sort of tucks away in the closet, or, oh, I didn't know it exists, you know, that kind of thing. So I specifically wanted to, you know, to hone in on black men, of course, because one, that's what we are.
That's what we are.
So
hey.
well, I wanted to have that conversation so that we could actually take and make sure that, you know, we're reaching out to brothers. We're reaching out to them, and also hopefully if we're reaching out to them, then they're reaching out to younger boys too, to see where they're at, and then and like our caller said, you know, hypervigilance. That, you know, are they aware, or are they even acutely aware of the things that's going on with them?
You know what? As a teacher, I deal with boys every day. I've been teaching for a long time, and I have interacted with thousands of boys over the years. And from what I see, they don't know, and they're not really aware of their behavior or their surroundings, or how it affects them, how it affects other people. But I mean, are they in need of some mental health, or is this just what boys do as they grow up and hopefully mature? But you know what? Let me ask this question: is there a defined line between such and such behavior and when somebody needs mental health? Let me explain. We've all suffered from depression at some point in time. We've all had thoughts of suicide at some point in time. And if you say you haven't, you're lying through your freaking teeth. You're lying.
No, you just want smoke. They just want smoke.
You just want smoke. But just because I had thoughts of it, does that mean I need mental health? Do I need to speak to a counselor? I mean, hey, I didn't have that option growing up. I went through a lot of crap, okay? and I processed it all, by the grace of God and having, some positive influences in my life I would like to think my moral compass was damaged but not destroyed. I was able to, persevere and work through. But the question is, should I have went to see somebody pertaining to my mental health or not? What's the fine line?
Okay, well, that's a good question. Let's take a break, though, and go through our station break.
Our station ID. You're watching... what's the name of our show? I forgot. Puffin' Drinks. Puffin' Drinks. Our topic is mental health. You're watching Puffin' Drinks on Wjzz Cool Tv Live. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms.
Give us a call. We
need for you to like. We need for you to follow. We need for you to share. We need for you to comment.
Yes.
And we need for you to subscribe. We also have our email address at puffindrinks@gmail.com. You know what? I forgot. We didn't even give you the call-in number. Please call us at 313-355-6018. 313-355-6018.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, because we don't have all the answers. I mean, I think we got a lot of the answers, but I don't think we have all the answers. And like I said, I really would love to somebody give me an example of trouble behavior versus where somebody needs to go speak to a counselor.
Right.
That's what I really would like to know. So,
one of the things that Dennis touched on and everything else, he said that he had his moral compass, and that when he was coming up, that he used prayer. He was a man of God. He believed in God. He believes in God. One of the things that came up when I was actually thinking about this topic earlier in the week was, can you pray your way out of depression?
Can you pray?
Now, see,
wow.
Now this is. I'm coming at it. I mean, one of the things that we've heard time and time again is that, and then I'm trying not to go theological on this because I don't want to do that. I really don't. But let's take it from one end where we know that God can do it all. I'm a believer. I have no doubt in my mind that God can do it all. That's exactly. You're not going to tell me anything different. But with that being said, can we pray our way out of depression? Can we pray our way out of anxiety? Can we pray our way out of schizophrenia? And these are the things that, once again, and again, folks, I'm talking about my own personal health, and then I'm also talking about other men's health that I've seen over my lifetime, where I know that, of course, they didn't have any belief in God and everything else, and they had some real mental issues and never sought or never even got any help, or if they knew there was help, they wasn't getting it. So,
did they have a moral compass?
Well, and again, is the moral compass a part of your mental health?
Absolutely.
Well, no, hold on.
Okay.
Is your moral compass part of your mental health, or is it a part of your mental health that's breaking?
Ooh.
Because here's the thing, and now you might be trying to travel straight and narrow. You do travel straight and narrow. That's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. You should know the difference between right and wrong. Everyone should. Hopefully. But we also have a situation where there are people who don't know the difference between right and wrong, and they have a slant on their moral compass.
Okay, so my question is, how come they don't know? Is it because no one taught them? Mommy or daddy didn't teach them about it?
Caller?
Hello?
Hello? Yes, I have a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is Erica, and my comment is speaking to what Jimmy has said in regards to can you pray your way out of the situation. I think it does depend on what the circumstance. I mean, you can have a form of depression that's not like clinical, where you're
Okay, Erica, excuse me. Can you, Erica, you came in
and then you
kind of
faded
drifted
away.
away.
Did what now?
Okay, we heard you really good, and then you kind of faded away. So.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, all
right, we'll keep.
Anyway, I feel like it depends on the circumstance whether, in regards to prayer. I think that if a person prays, because you can do self-inventory, you pray, you kind of process it yourself. You look at YouTube videos or you talk it over with a prayer group or people, who support you. And some of those things are resolved just by getting them off your chest. But when it becomes clinical is when you're finding that it's not going away and it's having an impact on on the other aspects of your life. You become hopeless or you're irritable, and things of that nature. And so I think that, prayer is good, but I think also professional help is necessary in some cases.
Okay, so Erica, and I hate to interrupt you, but and I wanted to piggyback on something, or at least ask you something about that, and because you brought up a good point that you can pray your way out of certain things. Do you believe that God, and this is, and I'm just going to put it out there, do you believe that God put therapists here for people to get the help that they need?
I would say yes.
Absolutely. I think therapists, which are health professionals, along with there's just certain lawyers, I think that God has given them the ability and given them the knowledge to be able to help heal individuals, and that's what you study. I'm an NSW, and so, prior to even being formally trained, a part of it was just within me and then being a Christian and then talking to individuals. But then I got the theory behind what I do to be able to be more effectively. So I do think, now they do have Christian counseling services, but even if it's not a person that is doing Christian counseling, which they incorporate, Christianity and the Word of God into what they're doing, even if they're doing cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT and other aspects, I think that it's still a gift, and I think that God still gives them the ability to help individuals. And furthermore, when individuals are, when you are counseling someone in therapy, you pretty much are guiding them to come up with their own solutions. You're not really telling them it's this, that, but you're helping them to be able to process, talk it out, and then also give suggestions. You can make suggestions and then have them to think of things themselves. And so sometimes people just don't have a listening ear or someone who can understand, what they're going through or be, unbiased. And then sometimes medication is necessary because there are chemical imbalances that people have that is not just what I'm thinking or that I don't want to get better. Sometimes you definitely need medication, and I think that that's what in certain stigmas of a community, and it's not just in the African American community, it becomes to where persons are like, oh, I'm not crazy, oh, you're on medication. And
Yep. And you hit the nail on the head. And I hadn't even begun to even talk about the medication part in our culture. I really didn't. Mm-hmm. Because, and one of the things that I've noticed in our culture, especially, and just like you just said it, oh, he on that meds. Or better yet, he need to get on some meds. And I'm gonna talk about our brother Kanye. And brother Kanye, I'm sorry, he doesn't go by Kanye anymore. Forgive me. Ye. So Ye, brother Ye has been battling a long time with mental illness. It's not a secret anymore. He's explained that he's come off his meds. He's gone back on his meds, that kind of thing. But he's had issues with that. So I agree with you 110% that, when it gets to the point where it's a little too much, and people are recognizing that, okay, George is not acting the way he should, or Susan's a little bit out of whack, that kind of thing. So, and sometimes they recognize it themselves.
All right, so let me jump in here. I cannot think of the gymnast. Help me out. I can't think of her name.
Simone Biles.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So what's the difference between a Simone Biles and a I'm sorry. What's the difference between a Simone Biles and Ye? She had the moral compass. She had, I don't know what exactly she had, but obviously she had the mental maturity to say, look, I'm having some issues. I need to back away. And then now she's back better than ever. Now, I have not, and I don't listen to the news all the time, but I've yet to hear of her being on any medication whatsoever. So is...
And then we may not know that, and it may not be disclosed. However, at the same time, sometimes people can be in denial. Just like when people have, certain addictions and things, they feel like I don't have a problem. Or sometimes people may feel like I can handle this. And so it just, that's the part where persons have to be honest, because sometimes they don't even process it. And here's another thing that I want to throw on there is that people, a lot of people self-medicate through marijuana and they need medication because they, if you notice people handle stress with, I just gotta take a drink, or I just need to smoke something to calm down. Or whatever.
Okay, see now you're hitting it on all sides. Now you're hitting it on all sides because you started with the therapy, you went to the medication, now you're talking about the homegrown medication.
That's what they're doing. It's like you're actually self-medicating yourself because that's something that is soothing you, and medications, whether it's by natural herbs or whatever, it kind of does the same thing because it hits that center to where's the amygdala, and I'm not going to get all technical, but anyway, it just hits where your endorphins and everything are affected, and so you actually aren't kind of treating yourself. It's just that you're not getting to the root of the problem, and we know that
you're dulling it. You're actually dulling the problem.
Other addictions.
Yep, you're actually dulling the problem.
Hold on here. I didn't get a chance to finish my
Oh no!
comparison.
Please do.
I did not get a chance.
See,
to finish
Dennis doesn't believe that you need therapy. He doesn't believe that. Now, come on. You're thinking that you should be able to just work your way out of this.
I don't think you need to have therapy if you woke up with a headache and all of a sudden you don't want to go to work. You don't want to go to school.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
So getting back to at what point? Okay. So like I was trying to say, Simone Biles apparently didn't need medication. Ye did. My question is, did Ye just, okay, I want medication? Or did somebody say, hey, maybe you need to take this? Did his family and loved ones say, babe, I think you need some help? The easiest thing to do in the world is to run and get some drugs, whether by a doctor or on the street corner. So my question is, my man says here, I don't believe in therapy. Well, that's not entirely true. Let me put it this way. If a police officer is suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome, I get it. If a soldier coming back from deployment is having issues, I get it. Heck, if a teacher is suffering from some PTSD, okay, that might be a stretch. I get it. But to all of a sudden, at what point does somebody say, look, you just need to pray your way out of it, you need to exercise, you need to eat right, or okay, maybe you need to go see a doctor. At what point? Where's the difference?
And Erica, I agree with you 110%. It is different for everyone. And I can speak for myself and everything else. I mean, over the years, I've dealt with a lot of different things, and and for me, it was, and I do classify it as PTSD because there were some of the things that I've gone through in my career and my personal life and everything else that I couldn't pray my way out of it. Trust me, I tried, and I just couldn't pray my way out of it and everything else, and but I knew that I had a supporting family. I still know I have a supporting family.
Absolutely.
And I also know that I could always turn to God and that would work. But there were times, or 2 or 3, where my decision making was suspect at best, and because I know that some of the things I was doing that was not correct. And did I need medication? Yes, I did take anxiety medication, Xanax, in fact. And there were things where you do need that little push. I recognize now. See, you brought up something, Dennis, where you said, when does that person figure that out, where they need to go on meds or not? Well, sometimes, like for myself, and I can't speak for anyone else, I found out I needed to do it because I couldn't do it any other way. So, I tried several thousand different other ways, and then it just wasn't working. So I needed something to bring this down, to ebb it down a little bit and everything else. And it worked for the while that I needed and everything else, and I came up off of it. But still, I did maintain therapy so that, with my therapist, so that I could help balance it out. And then, and to your point, Erica, to balance out what I needed to do.
Are you okay now?
It all depends on who you ask. It all depends on who you ask. All right. We're going to take a break for a moment, Erica. And then,
all right.
Cheers.
My man Jimmy is fine. I'm so happy to hear that. All right. We need to do another station ID. You're watching Puff and Drinks on Wjzz Cool TV, the greatest TV station in the world. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Listen here, we're not coming here every Friday.
Hold on, and if there's anybody else out there, please give us a call at 313-655-6018.
355.
And I'm just
okay.
I'm going to give some other people some chance to talk. I wanted to say that I think when we get away from the word or not we need to normalize things therapy, like, that it's not a negative to say that, therapy is pretty much just talking to someone.
Absolutely.
And talking to a trained individual. And so,
yes.
Some people think that it's kind of like, in the community, how it would say, just, pick yourself back up and keep going, and if you don't do that, you're a failure. And that's not the case. And so I think that if we destigmatize the word therapy and just kind of like really normalize it to say, this is just, I need to bounce my ideas off of it, off someone. And it's like, if you talk with your pastor or if you talk with, just say even a spouse, and they're giving you feedback, and that's a form of therapy. It may not be
absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Therapy, but it's still therapy to a certain degree.
Yep.
So that's all I'm going to say, and I'll let some other people go.
All right.
Thank you for calling, too. Thank you.
Well,
all right.
I would say Miss Erica has enlightened us. She is not blowing smoke.
And even the caller before that, I did not know about hypervigilance. And Kennedy, her name was Kennedy, that called in before, and I didn't know about hypervigilance, and that's something that's new to me. I didn't know that.
But wait a minute, is that the same as hyper masculinity?
No, hypervigilance is something that, based upon what she was saying, is that we become more acutely aware of what's going on around us.
Okay, all right.
So
thank you for correcting me.
So, but no, once again, this is one of them nights, man. We gonna get into it. So. One of the things that Erica brought up, and I thought that's something to touch on, because Cat Williams said it in his stand-up one time, that if you at home, you don't have a job, you're broke, you should be smoking weed. and I'm okay, folks. What? If there's a caller out there that can say something about that, let me know. I 313-355-6018. Once again, 313-355-6018.
I gotta say that makes some sense. There's some strange, twisted way. If you ain't got nothing going for you, you need to smoke some weed. And I would imagine why, to keep you from doing something stupid that you might regret.
Well, you'll be sleepy and hungry.
Okay. You know what? You asked a question. Can you pray your way out of depression? Can you pray your way out of, what else did you say? Depression, anxiety?
Anxiety.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, prayer alone. See, because you didn't. Maybe I misunderstood you. If you said, can you pray yourself out of a situation, and that's it? No. Now, there's some pastors who will probably disagree with me. I'm sorry. But like Erica said, God put therapists in the mix. God put doctors in the mix. Mm-hmm. So, I'm thinking prayer with a combination of of our earthly entities, if it comes to that. You know, which reminds me, next week, I think next week is the end of breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
And here's another stigma. We believe breast cancer is a woman's disease for obvious reasons. Well, guess what?
Yep.
It ain't.
It never was.
It never was. But for some reason, it's becoming more prevalent. Excuse me. For some reason, it's becoming more prevalent in men. So, hey, gentlemen,
Get yourself checked.
Hey.
Get yourself checked, gentlemen.
I get it, because you know what? I'm kind of struggling with it myself, but I'm going to overcome it. Man, I don't have breasts. Why do I need to get a breast cancer screening? Well, hello, you do have them. It's just not as out there
as women.
As women. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So don't be stupid. Don't lose your life. Okay?
Well, keep in mind too with that. Next month is prostate health for men.
Oh no! Oh,
so we need to actually have that conversation.
Yeah, we got to have that conversation,
and we're going to have that conversation next month because it's Movember. Movember is when brothers, when men in general are not supposed to shave, and so that we're respecting and then acknowledging the brothers who've had issues with their prostate with respect to that.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the breast cancer is concerned and everything else, I've lost my mom to that, and it hits very close to home and everything else. But as far as men is concerned, the thing that I think we need to always be, once again, remind ourselves, go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. I mean,
it really won't.
Stop running to emergency. I'm going to speak to brothers. I'm speaking to y'all. Okay, I'm speaking to the brothers, all right?
To the brothers.
Stop running to emergency. Make an appointment with a primary physician. Make some time with an internist. Have a conversation. Find out what your health is like and everything else. We're trying to get to that ripe old age of 200.
Yeah. So, amen, brother.
So, but that, once again, going back on the subject of mental health and everything else, and I think it's so important with black men in general that we don't talk enough about it. We just don't talk enough about it.
We don't.
And there's times or 2 or 3 or 4 in the barbershop where we have a conversation where, you hear where, that brother crazy, man. That brother crazy, man, Well, that we all know, and where that's that one guy where you are not going to let him come over your house. Let's be realistic. Am I right? There's that one guy.
Absolutely.
He can't come over.
No way.
He can't come over for no way, no how. He can't act right. He don't do right. He clowns every time he come over.
Nope.
So we don't tell him that he need to go get checked or he need to get some help.
Yeah.
Because the only thing is here's the stigma where we shun them. We actually do shun them, and say, okay, well, I'm just not going to deal with this cat.
Well, hold on, wait a minute, wait.
And I'm just saying.
Okay, do we initially shun them, or do we say, look, you need to go get checked out. You need to go talk to somebody. And if they don't, then do we?
Well, it depends on the person and how combative they are.
You know what?
Come on now.
I gotta share. My best friend, he was my best friend. My best friend, he was the best man at my wedding. He turned around and did some real dirty, low-down things. Okay, he took my name, and right now as we speak, I am on the Michigan offender registry. Okay, I won't go into specifics, but to make a long story short, he's done time in prison. He apparently started dealing in some drugs. So I don't know the specifics, but I will say, I'm sure he has been told to go get help.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure. Now, knowing him the way I knew him, being stubborn, being extremely prideful, suffering from hypermasculinity, I'm sure he didn't do it. So I don't want nothing to do with the brother. Okay, after what he did to me, which still haunts me to this day. But I find it hard to believe that we would initially shun anybody. I mean, we're gonna talk to them at first.
Okay, maybe, all right. I get you. I hear you. I get it. Maybe shun is not the right word, but maybe we just kind of sort of just don't deal with them for a while. You know, you don't even say anything to them. You just kind of sort of cut them out. You don't have any conversations with them anymore. You know, you just kind of sort of, okay, I'm not. You put that brother in a particular place.
Okay.
You know, you're not going to have a conversation with him anymore about things.
Well, you know, let's say this.
All right.
Moving forward, talk to him or her, encourage them to get help, and if they get help, amen, glory be to God. If they don't.
But see, you spoke of your best man. I had a best man too, and notice how I said I had. And my best man, there was no signs. There was no signs. There was nothing that showed that this man had any issues. Him and his ex-wife, they lived a happy life down in Augusta, Georgia. Everything went the way it was supposed to go. He had 2 children, the whole 9 yards, picket fence, the whole 9 yards. And his marriage dissolved. Things happen. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Then he gets married again. And within 2 months of getting married again, he kills his wife and himself.
Whoa.
Didn't see it coming. No one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. He was not unemployed. He was not an alcoholic. He was not a drug addict. No one to this day. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what happened. And it's one of those situations where you wonder, you know, why did this take place? And then you realize there was no way you could have told me that this man had something going on.
You didn't know.
You know, the most enjoyable person to ever be around. Oh my God, he was the Tom Ford of the room. Oh my, you know, just the life of the party. Always, never an issue and everything else. He literally would give the shirt off his back if you asked him. Hell, if you didn't ask, he'd give it to you. And that's just how the guy, and he was just that kind of guy. I got the news in 2000, I think it was 2014, and the thing that's so amazing about that is that I still don't understand. I don't question it anymore and everything, so things happen the way they do. Right. So, but there was no signs. Even his ex-wife, no one saw anything.
It reminds me of Phyllis Hyman.
No signs.
No signs whatsoever.
No signs.
And I remember them saying on the radio, I don't remember who exactly it was, they said, if we had only known. The comedian, oh my gosh. I can't think of his name. He was a
Robin Williams.
Thank you, Robin Williams. Robin Williams. Here's a guy who had it all and then some.
Yep.
What did Whoopi Goldberg say? No words.
There are no words.
There are no words.
There are no words. You don't know. And again, I go back to men because that's who I am.
Yes.
And then these are the things that I look at overall that tell me that, okay, we need to spend some time.
We got to talk about it.
Have a conversation. Now, to Erica's point, and I agree with her 110%, if you don't talk to a professional, you need to talk to somebody.
Oh my gosh, I tell my students, there's not a week that goes by when I tell my students, look, if you don't want to talk to me, I get it. I'm a guy, I'm tall, I got a mustache. Go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody.
Do not let this fester and boil and then boil over into something that turns into something totally that didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it, I understand it, and once again, that you know, for what we do and how we talk to each other and everything else, you know, we're rough. Again, men are rough.
We're men.
We do what we do, but at the same time, okay, bro, you ain't got to talk to me, but go talk to your woman.
Yeah.
Go talk to your woman. Go talk to your mom. Go talk to your dad. Go talk to your brothers and sisters.
Talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody. Don't let this go, too long, because it's going to turn into one of them situations where you're going to ask questions, and why didn't this person talk to me?
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
And again, like I said, for me, the topic of men and mental health, and then the stigma around it in our culture and everything else is one of those things that I think that we should have more conversations about it and everything else. And and like I said, I would love to hear from the men. You can always email us at puffanddrinks@gmail.com.
Yes.
Please give us a call at 313-355-6018.
Hey, I'll even give you my personal cell phone number. I'm only gonna give it once.
And if you need help, you don't have to take and say anything on air now. We understand that, but definitely if you want to take and talk to us, email us and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. All right, look, we got to come down to our last station ID break. You are watching Puff and Drinks. Our topic is mental health and the stigma. You're watching Puff and Drinks live on Facebook. I'm sorry, let me start over. Sometimes I talk really fast. All right, you're watching Puff and Drinks on Wjzz Cool TV Live. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. We want you to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. And we thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We only got a few minutes.
We got one more caller.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of background interference. This is Erica calling back. I just wanted to add one more thing.
Go ahead, Erica.
Is that also, I think, as men and women, we should think about, sometimes you can suppress certain things, right? And when you talk about the different stages of people having mental health challenges, like, sometimes people have suppressed the fact that they were molested as a child. Or they have suppressed the fact that they experienced a lot of trauma visualizing their mom getting beat through domestic violence and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And
all day.
Later on, that comes up in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people are not ready to deal with that because it is so painful. But it does come to a head and resurface. And so, like I said, different people are in different stages, and sometimes people don't recognize, like, I actually need help. And then, until it gets to that point or someone suggests it. So that's my final 2 cents.
And thank you, Erica. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
You have enlightened us once again. You're not blowing smoke, so I think we need to do a toast.
Yes, all day long.
Yeah, we have.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
You got a toast out of us. Well, guys, keep in mind and everything else, and just like Erica was saying, and then and then what we've been talking about, for the last few minutes and everything else about it. If you have issues and everything else, there's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with having issues, and it's just how long you let those issues sit.
Yeah.
If you don't talk to a therapist, talk to someone.
You know what? I gotta say this. I just had a situation today at school. I had a young man. I'm not gonna mention his name for obvious reasons, but he was in my class and his behavior was like really bad. Never happened before. Never. So I called him over. I said, "Look, what's going on? What's going on? Why are you acting like this? You've never acted like this before. Why are you acting like this?" He said, "Because he lost somebody a few days ago."
See?
I was like, and fortunately, because he was a good kid, I was able to quickly figure out, how to handle it.
He didn't even know how to deal with the grief.
Yeah, I told him, I said, look, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be upset. It's even okay to cry. You need to, if you need to talk to somebody about it. If you don't want to talk to me, I'll be happy to run you to somebody in the building that you can talk to. The best thing, like we've been talking about, talk about it.
Talk about it.
Do not bury it in your chest. Do not bury it in your head. Do not bury it in your heart.
Use your company's benefits. If your company has an EAP program, use it. Please use it. You are entitled to use your EAP system to actually go and get therapy. And no, they do not report it back to your company. It is between you and that therapist.
That's right.
But you are allowed to have so many visits to a therapist so that you can be healthy. It is part of their EAP system. But once again, EAP, and we're almost done. EAP is Employee Assistance Program. So once again, please, this is one of those topics that's near and dear to me, but guys, please make sure that you get some help.
All right.
All right.
So look, you know what? I got to tell you, coming into this, I was like, We gonna talk about mental health? Nah. Loser. But you know what? I gotta tell you, it was enjoyable, it was insightful, and I actually had a little fun. Bottom line is, we hope you get the message. If you have an issue, just talk about it. Going back to Ye, I wonder if he talked about it in the beginning, would he have to go on medication? Maybe, maybe not. We certainly may never know.
True.
So my thing is, the sooner you address the issue,
the better you will be.
The better you will be.
Yes.
I mean, if you have to take medication, okay. But here's the thing. A doctor is going to say take it when you might not have needed to.
True.
If you have just addressed it as soon as it happened. All right, I think we're out of time.
And it's been a pleasure, everyone.
Yeah. Once again, this was Puffin Drinks on WJZZ Live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Once again, we want you to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And in conclusion, guys, we're here to help. We're here to raise you from this level to the next level.
All day.
Through mature conversation. And I think that's about it.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night now.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.